Hello and welcome to the Social Club. We are back for another wonderful week. Ped joins me and Social Club debutant Statman Dave.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
You made it here.
I did. It was a bit of a, awkward journey, but I'm here.
You've literally crossed rivers and mountains in
Yeah.
Warrington to get here, which is I don't know which would be more difficult.
The Fellowship had a lesser journey than getting through Warrington.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to come on, in fact, to talk a little bit about the relegation battle in the Premier League. Very, very interesting stuff. But first, the old firm didn't quite go to plan for Rangers at the weekend. Celtic secured 7 in a row. Some tremendous celebrations, no less so than from the Celtic players, who thought the best thing to do to celebrate 7 in a row is to rob the hat of a policeman.
First ever Old Firm goal! No contest this!
How has he not been arrested for this?
Is that a bookable offence?
Bookable offence.
I would love to know if stealing a hat of a policeman is a bookable offence.
If you did
You're
that
getting
in
sent
town,
off for that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you get arrested for that in the street. You would get arrested for that in the street.
I love the fact that he just hands it back like, I'm only messing, mate.
Yeah,
And
like,
like,
only
"Oh,
joking."
yeah,
Kind of like,
no
it's all right,
problem."
son.
Bring on! 7 in a row!
Incredible stuff. It wasn't even the best part of social media around that, of course. We got asked the question. We normally take your questions on Ask the Club, but I thought it was pertinent to what we're discussing today. Ollie T20 said, Gerrard to Rangers, match made in heaven, or recipe for disaster. Yeah, meme central as well at the weekend over this. I've seen every possible U-turn meme I think there is in existence on Twitter over the weekend for this.
Isn't that weird? Because that shows you what Twitter's like, because I've not seen one meme. Although I have muted every word associated with Liverpool in the last 7 days. I got rid of everything that was associated with Avengers and everything associated with Liverpool.
Wow,
brutal. It's made life just a lot better.
Everton next, and then just be...
Yeah, Everton was muted ages ago. Any related to Everton and Allardyce was muted months and months ago. It just makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
So no, I've not seen any of those memes.
Absolutely. Dave, Steven Gerrard then to Rangers. I mean, personally, from Liverpool under 18s to Rangers, regardless of how good you think Scottish football is, going from under 18s to the one of the 2 biggest clubs in Scotland is massive.
It's big, yeah, but I think what he's done with the under 19s, under 18s has been very good.
Yeah.
Look at the style of football they play, and I like that about a manager that can put their style across, or their sort of heart and soul into it. And I think, obviously, Rangers, they need something. They've been struggling for a while. Obviously, Celtic are just absolutely hammering them at the moment following their relegation and so forth. They need a big personality, and I quite like that Gerrard's gone, look, outside my comfort zone, if I take this job, he's doing what Ryan Giggs didn't. He's doing what other ex-pros haven't done. Yeah. They haven't just gone, I'm just going to go for TV, get all the money. He's gone out there, he's coached the young lads at Liverpool, and now he's going to Rangers, and it's a big task, but he's got to be up for that.
What it shows is that, I think, for Gerrard, is the pressure he'll feel at Rangers will be not too dissimilar to what he would feel if he was Liverpool manager. I think that's the biggest thing, regardless of whether he's a good enough coach. It's whether he can deal with the pressure, because it doesn't really matter what he's done with Liverpool under 19s. There's been no pressure to do anything. He goes out, enjoys it with the kids. He's not got that day-to-day. I mean, can you imagine every day stopping that 8 in a row? That's the next thing. And I think that's what he needs more than anything else. There's talk of some players coming back from the Premier League that will join him as well.
Talk of Gary McAllister maybe joining.
Yeah, he'll have plenty of help around them to help the transition. So I think just getting used to that pressure of being a manager of a really, really big club will be fantastic for his progression.
No matter what you may say, games don't get much bigger than the Old Firm. You're not going to get that level of atmosphere at almost any other club that's going to give him an opportunity at this part of his career.
I think as well, like with where Rangers are in Scottish football, they need to go out and win every single game. So that's the same mentality at Liverpool in the Premier League. They need to win every single game, or wherever he goes next. If he goes to the Premier League, and I quite like that as well, that it's given this opportunity where he has to go out, he has to play with the football, and he has to unlock these teams that sit deep and defend, which will be similar to Liverpool. Klopp has had his issues with that. Yeah. Obviously getting over it now, bar the Stoke game at the weekend, he's kind of figured that one out.
Just couldn't help yourself.
Yeah, couldn't help myself, no. But I think it'll be good for him to do that at Rangers, and again, like we mentioned, the atmosphere. But as well, he's got someone like Brendan Rodgers who, Gerrard's probably taken some of Brendan Rodgers and put it into his own mind, like Rafa Benitez brought that in. Yeah. And that could be a really interesting battle, a matchup where, Gerrard may know what he's thinking, counteract that, and it makes Scottish football more fun in a way. The domination... More relevant, yeah. You've got to take it that way. Good for marketing, good for all that type of thing, bringing players into the league.
Yeah, that's what it's good for. It's interesting that Rangers they are seen as an absolute disaster and this second. But that gives them plenty of wiggle room.
Yeah.
Because that's saying there's a lot of games we'll win this season, and in those games that you know you're going to win, that's when you can experiment. And then when it comes to that, is it 3 or 4 Old Firm derbies? I forget now because of the way it works in the last part of the season. Those games are going to be massively key. Whereas in those other games, you can almost set up for those games, and obviously with all the cup games as well, he's going to have plenty of time to get his message across.
Yeah.
No one, I don't think anyone's going to be hounding him out of Rangers anytime.
Will they not?
No, because I think the team has been in the last 10 years. That drop off is give the Rangers fans perspective that they've never ever had before in their lives. And they've just been beaten by Celtic 5-0, who won the league on the same day. I think they'll give them a chance. I think they will.
On the negative side of things, though, because look, there's plenty of positives. If there were no positives, you wouldn't even be interested. But they're closing in on 9 in a row. You know what I mean? And Gerrard, if he wants to be there, is going to be the man who's going to be tasked with stopping Celtic. Catching up to breaking records. Whether you think they've got perspective or not.
But he's done it on the big stage already, Champions League finals. That is big pressure.
Yeah, but
I understand it's different, but what I'm saying is he's managed that really well. Like he's managed that. He's seen that. The Istanbul game, the Liverpool game, they changed so much at half time. Gerrard has had that. He's seen that happen. So if he needs to do something like that, he's got the tools to do that. I think it's good for Liverpool as well. You think about the young players that are playing at the under 18s, under 19s now, loaned up to Scotland to play for a massive club, and that'll be good for Gerrard because he's worked with the players before. Be able to bring in some players that could build a core of a dressing room there with the guys that are already there. So it's positive. I can't really see the negatives, bar if he fails. Is that it for him as a coaching career?
But I think that's
that the problem?
I think that's a good thing now. I think it's good to get a measure of yourself quite early on, because you're going to have so many different things you can do. If you get to measure early on whether he is cut for it. Well, I can't wait to see what he looks like in blue as well. Because we've seen that before as a kid. We've seen that before as a kid. Yeah. And when he had the last time he had the league trophy in his hand.
Yeah, look, potential negatives, potential pros, potential cons. The only real con around this is how many Celtic stroke Liverpool fans who are like, I can't support him now, and it's tarnishing his reputation. It's weird. Imagine not liking a club legend because he goes to a weird. Like, it's not like he's gone to. He's not like he's at Man United. It's not like he's gone to Everton or something. Weird. Get on the anagram this week. The lads have worked very, very hard on it. I have got no idea what it is, so let us know if you figured it out in the comments below. Let's move on. The Premier League, the battle for survival. It's all hotting up very nicely and really annoyingly because Liverpool have dropped 4 points to the 2 worst teams in the Premier League in the last 2 weeks. So Stoke picked up a point against us. Swansea lost to Chelsea. Southampton beat Bournemouth. Ped, who's going down and why?
I think it's going to be the bottom 3 because they are the worst teams in the Premier League. And
okay, dynamite analysis. Let's leave that there. That's fine. Dave, has anyone else got a chance? I mean, it's in Swansea's hands to guide themselves to safety to some extent.
I think Southampton. They'll get out. I really do. I think the underperforming quality. The players there like the Tadic's and other lads that are there, Nathan Redmond, their quality. Yeah. And if you can get someone like Tadic in these last 3 games, put in a game in, they're the guys that for me that can jump out. I think Huddersfield will get dragged in as well just because of the quality of their opponents. I think they're playing City, they're playing United, I think they're playing Chelsea, and that is going to be tough for them to get any points.
I think Stoke, they drew with Burnley, didn't they? 1-0 up, had chances. Went to Liverpool when they were, obviously taking it easy ahead of the game in Roma. They'll be kicking themselves, thinking there's an extra 4 points there where that would have really, seen them right on the edge now with winnable games.
They had that chance, didn't they? Stoke had a chance at the end of the game with Shawcross, and if they'd taken that, that's absolutely massive, because right now they need to win both of their games. They need to hope that the teams around them slip up, and there's too many teams that need to slip up for it to come off, I think.
You're right, I think Southampton have got the quality to drag people into it. Yeah. If they could have turned it on, you wonder why they haven't done so already. Or is them taking the win against Bournemouth the
turning point? I think it is a turning point. I think that with Mark Hughes, he's not the greatest manager. He ain't going to turn you into a Champions League winning side, but there's structure in there that they didn't have in the manager before. There's, I think there's just something there for Southampton for me out of any of those sides that's going to mean that they stay up and another one. I think Swansea are just awful. I think they're an awful footballing side. From what they were when they came to the Premier League, with Leon Britton, with Joe Allen. They're a very good footballing team, and I think they've lost their roots.
Well, I think
and they arguably deserve to go down because of their identity problem.
To be fair, but them in Southampton, it's a similar story.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of diminishing returns. They've not replenished and they've not stuck to. They've not gotten better. They've trodden water for a while, and it started to fall away.
They are now where Bournemouth could be in the next couple of years because you can't play that kind of football forever, and once the results start going against you, you do turn to the dark side. The Allardyces, it is. It's absolutely right. That's what happens. That's why these people keep getting jobs. Is because that football will only get you so far. And players, if you do have good players, they go, well, you know what? Actually, I'd rather be up the league than messing around in the middle. And then you have to start going after all these, let's be honest, shite.
But with Bournemouth, though, Eddie Howe will be the longest-serving manager after Wenger goes in the whole Premier League.
Well, he will, but he'll leave in the next 2 years. And I'm massively shocked that Southampton did
You'd
not.
be interested to see what happens off the back.
I'm massively shocked that Southampton didn't try and get him before they got Hughes. I think that would have been a perfect fit. If Howe leaves, I think he should go to somewhere like Newcastle. I think again that would be a perfect fit. I think he'll leave next 2 years, and they'll start facing those problems.
Do you think he's better than Newcastle?
I think he needs a. I don't think anyone else is going to give him a job. I just think that's the way the Premier League is, and I think he needs that step. And you know what? That step could be at a club like Everton. And it could. I don't know whether our fans would appreciate that, but I think a Newcastle at Everton. It's mad as well because you've just seen who Bayern Munich have appointed, and they've literally just appointed the German Eddie Howe or or Sean Dyche. He's not a big name, but he seems to be a good coach, but he hasn't got any kind of winning reputation. It would be nice for an Arsenal to go, Howe, he's a tremendous coach.
For me, it'd be the correct thing to do.
I know this has nothing to do with what we were talking about, but it just seems to be a nice diversion.
No, it's fine. Yeah, talk about Arsenal managers that worked really well last week. West Brom, we've not even mentioned them. They deserve to go down. Stoke deserve to go down. I apologise for Stoke fans watching, and I shouldn't be. Maybe people might think it's abilities. I hate playing them, and they might love that, and that's great, and that's the beauty of football. But I'm entitled to hate playing certain teams.
We took 6 points off them this year.
We very much did not.
In your face, L.
Yeah. So yeah, I've had enough of watching Stoke come to Anfield and take points off us. So
they're another club though that tried to go away from what they were good at, and it's weird, isn't it? It's weird how a football club can have completely different sets of players, different set of different manager, different coaches, but still have an ingrained way of playing. And if they stray away from it, suddenly things go wrong. And
Tony Pulis is going to come back next season, getting promoted. We'll be back in the Premier League. We'll be seeing Rory Delap, assistant manager, coaching someone else to do the long throws, and it'll be great again.
Imagine a specialist long throw coach.
Amazing.
That would be.
I don't understand why
they still do it though. They still do it with the throwers. They still go like, whoa, and it's like it's not the same.
You know why? Don't you?
Not the same.
Took the towels away.
Yeah, I know. It was all the towels' fault.
All the towels.
All the towels' fault, and just realising that once your shirt's wet, it doesn't matter if you put it under your shirt, it's still not going to.
Why did they get rid of players like John Walters though? Who thought that would be a good idea? Getting rid of people like him and having people like Berahino. Who makes these decisions in football?
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? You're saying that they went away from their style. Yeah. Someone like Jonathan Walters has been a very good Premier League servant for them and would be good now. You could see him like scoring a goal at Anfield, or you could see these little things with Jonathan Walters, like these moments.
Got to have an ethos, haven't you? But yeah, very interesting. Who do you think is going to go down? Who are the favourites? Is there anyone from an outside Chelsea? In fact, we haven't even touched upon it, Dave. Before filming, you mentioned Huddersfield. They're very much not safe.
No, I think that's the big thing. I think with Huddersfield, they had a certain style, but they haven't evolved. They've hit that point where they play a certain way. They have the performances against the big sides, but beating the weaker opponents in the Premier League, coming unstuck, and I could definitely see them dropping in. I think it'll be Huddersfield to go down with Stoke and West Brom.
I want Huddersfield to stay up just on the principle. I like clubs, and I also like David Wagner because he's coach.
Of course you do.
But I love it. But we need them. But if they go relegated, we get behind closed doors friendlies with them all season long. It's great. I like clubs coming and doing it on no budget. I like to see that it's possible. And Bournemouth have kind of found a reasonable equilibrium. If Huddersfield could do it, that's fine. I'm bored of Stoke. I'm bored of West Brom. I want to see some other teams. Who's getting promoted? Wolves. Haven't seen Wolves in a while. I'll be all over a Wolves.
Exciting side, Wolves. They're going to catch some people out.
Yeah, Pet doesn't like them.
I didn't say that.
Anyway, thanks very much for watching on that bombshell.
I'm just going to ruin your outro by swearing all over it here. I'm the one who brought Wolves into the discussion 2 weeks ago, and you were like, "Don't want to talk about them."
You said
championship teams.
Watch out for Wolves.
I did.
Watch out for Wolves.
Yeah, but I meant when you're in Alaska. And you're with Liam Neeson.
He said, I don't like Wolves. I like them as much as I like Newcastle. Watch out, Wolves fans. Ask Newcastle fans what he thinks about your club. Just saying.
I've got no problem with Wolves. I was just I actually brought them up because they are playing excellent football and a lot of teams should watch out for them. Sure. As for Newcastle, they're gang of wankers.
So, right, thanks for watching the Social Club. Ask the Club comes later this week. Drop a like, drop a subscribe, and check out everyone on Twitter and on their YouTube channels as well. See you soon.